Boker Tov, good morning. Today's Friday, October 20th. Erev Shabbat Parshat Noach, 2 weeks, at the end of the second week of a war that was forced upon us by the murderous, brutal actions of Hamas. The end of the story of the Mabul, of the flood. We know that Noach and the family are told by God they have to leave the ark. They leave the ark, and Noach offers sacrifices to God. God declares to God's self that he will no longer destroy the earth with the flood waters, and will no longer undo the cycle of the seasons. And then he gives a bracha to Noach and family, mostly similar, to the one he gives to Adam and Eve, to be fruitful and multiply. In this case, that they can dominate the animals so much that they can kill them and eat them, which is a new factor. And then, excuse me. And then God goes into a warning about taking human life. You can take animal life, but you dare not take human life. If you take human life, then God says, "Shofech dam ha'adam, ba'adam damo shofech." Ki b'tzelem Elohim, b'rat adam. That if the punishment for taking a human life is that you lose your life, because the Tzelem Elohim asat adam, right? That humans were created in God's image. You snuff out an image of God, then you lose yours. You lose your right to yours. And then concludes once more with the blessing to be fruitful and multiply. The next pasuk reads, "Vayomer Elokim el Noach ve'el banav yito lemor hineni." And next following that, God says to them, "Ba'ani hineni mekim et briti itchem." As for me, I will keep my covenant, my brit, my covenant with you and your descendants afterwards, and all the rest of the world, not to do this again. Mefarshim want to understand, what is that va'ani, as for me. As for me, I will do this. So Rashi imagines really the mindset of Noach, what it must be like to have spent 120 years, as he did, to preparing for the devastation, and then to enter the ark, and to save himself and family and the animals, and to walk out of that ark and to see the utter desolation and devastation. Says Rashi, Shaya Noach doeg la'asok b'pirya b'rivya. Noach and the family, well, add that in, right? They were too anxious to once again populate the world. What? Why? And this is a phrase, Ad shehivticho HaKadosh Baruch Hu shelo shachet ha'olam od, until it was that God promised that he would no longer destroy the world again. Because you can imagine, he says, good, you tell me we're starting again, but what will come of us? How we know that whatever we now throw our hearts and lives into, the families and children that we build, right, that it won't all be destroyed again. And God says, I promise to you that I will never destroy the world as has happened before. And so you need to rebuild, be fruitful, multiply, and create your families. That is, I think, an emotional space that many people have after terrible events. You say, what's the point, right? What's the point to try this anymore? What's the point of the enterprise? Why should we bother continuing on or building or rebuilding? I would say that the most powerful things that I've been paying attention to online, videos, some of them are pretty horrible videos still of retelling stories. I try to avoid spending too much time in them. But and then many reach outs to provide support, which we have to be doing in all the ways in which support is needed. But there's something about kibbutzim in the south who are raising money to rebuild. I think especially those which have not been completely devastated, but ones that have been harmed, but then somehow managed with the help of God and their bravery and awareness to be able to fight off the invasions. I think, for example, about Kibbutz Alumim. So when Kibbutz Alumim sent a notice saying that we need money to so we can repair whatever their structures that were attacked, and be able to continue to do our work as we will return to Kibbutz Alumim, that was very powerful for me. And I gave my tzedakah money there, as many other places I've given my tzedakah money, because in effect they understand that there has been devastation, and there has been and it's possible that people should say, what for? And the answer is because we are here, because we will rebuild, and we are determined to live out the blessing which is Medinat Yisrael. For others, it's too early. For many places, it's too early. But the understanding that the larger haftacha, the larger promise that this enterprise is meant to be, or the belief that that is the case, can hopefully give us strength and give our people strength to continue to build and continue to grow Medinat Yisrael, even in the face of those who would seek to cause it to be otherwise. That is the message that I want to share with you this Shabbat. With the faith that that is the case, and to throw all of our efforts into making Am Yisrael, Medinat Yisrael, strong now, to be able to be even stronger on the morrow. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom.